So, I'm re-recording the intro to my channel again. I have no idea what I said the last two times, but this is my third time because apparently last time I didn't. Guess I didn't. So, this car. No, I already explained that in the next video. My name's Rowan. I'm starting a YouTube channel. I've tried to before many times, as I'm sure many people have when they were younger. This time, I don't care if I make money. I don't care how many views I get. I just want to kind of document all my progress on that car and the car that you guys are resting on. And if it helps anyone, hey, it helps someone. Or someone give me tips if I do stuff wrong, because I mean, this is my first time. Like, well, not my first time. I did a lot of work on that car, but this is my first time I care a lot, like care the most about what I'm working on. I don't want to have any, I don't want to mess it up, basically. I want to make sure I do it right. And I don't want to pay a fortune too. So that's why I'm not getting someone to do it, because working a part-time job, going to school, it's kind of hard to justify putting, well, about 20K into a car, when you could put 5,000 into it. I'm guessing that's what'll get it. That's what'll get it to a point where I'm good with it. And it'll be a project that I'm working on forever. The one you guys are on, that one behind me, that one I'm getting fixed up, and I'm getting it down the road to fund the car that you guys are resting on. So you would have just been seeing this car. It's a 1989 IROC-Z 5-speed with a 305, and obviously T-tops. I want to say I got it in April or May. I got it in April because I got it around Easter. I bought that car with the intentions of like fixing up, maybe driving, and then probably was gonna sell it. Now, I didn't realize the rust that was on this car. Okay, so I had to rebuild a lot of stuff that I didn't think I was gonna have to. I thought it was just kind of mess with the motor, maybe a little bit of rust repair, and then I get it home and I start poking around, which I should have done when I was buying it. Which, if you guys go look at a car, don't take like a new paint job as a good thing. Make sure you look underneath and what's underneath the cores and what's in the wheel wells, because hold on, the compressor's going.
Later, 4 to 6 weeks later. 1 minute, 37 seconds later.
All right, it's finally done. I can talk to you guys now. So this car, I'll show you in here. When I got it, I was like, oh, perfect. Like, good project, something to work on an engine. Like, because I like working on engines and stuff. I mean, I've done it since I was young. I won't say I'm good at it, but my dad's good at it. He usually takes over sometimes. Hopefully on these projects he won't have to, but we'll see. So this car, as you can see, it was my first time welding, and it shows. But what I have in here now is definitely a lot better than what it was. This all was rotten before. I could stick my hand in there. This is replaced. This is replaced. And this is replaced. Now, I know you're going to say, why didn't you grind down the welds? Well, it was my first time welding. Go easy on me. But this car, I mean, it was in need of a lot. I repaired the strut tower as well. I cut out new ones. So I cut out new ones out of a donor car. Now, I didn't want to drill out all the spot welds. Got a little lazy, but also there's a lot of rust on the car. So if I put in solid metal, it kind of just would have been a lot of time, and it wouldn't have been worth it, because at the end of the day, this car is not going to be a show car. I don't see it being a show car in its future. Maybe someone will take it all down, acid dip it, but right now they're not quite at that level of value yet. So I figured I would just get it roadworthy, so I could sell it to someone, and so it would actually get to go on the road. That car was supposed to hold me off of this car. The car that I'm going to show you now. So this car right here, as you can see, it's not an 80 or 81. And it's not a 78. Right here is a 79 Z28 T-top, but that's not even the best part. So, the best part about this car isn't the T-tops. It's actually that stick right there. Anti-theft system, but it's the 4-speed. Oh, this shit's so nice. It's a 4-speed T-top 350 Canadian car. Here, a lot of these cars didn't make it. Now, this car has been sitting since 97. 25 years. That's when it was last registered, at least. So who knows if it was actually driven in 97. That's what it shows. Now, this car is in need of a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but a good amount of rust repair. It's more solid than you'd think for being a Canadian car, for sitting outside. I'll just show you a little bit of the rust repair that I have to do. So, I pulled off all the seals and stuff for the T-tops because I was noticing a little bit of rust. Obviously, you can see that, but I noticed this little pinhole on the quarter. Now, near the top of the quarter, so it's not too bad. It's definitely repairable. Eventually, I'll sand it all down and repaint it, but for the time being, I want to weld in a patch here, like stitch weld a patch in, seal it up, and then drive it, because it's a lot better than what it did have. Someone tried to do JB weld or something in there, and I mean, it was a good temporary patch. Well, it was actually kind of annoying and hard to deal with, but same with up here. Someone had put some silicone in there. Along here, along the T-top, under the seals, I'm really not sure what I'm going to be dealing with. I'm sure that'll be fun. On this side, the A-pillar's still pretty good. Now, obviously, once I tear this car down, I'll replace, patch up everything and get everything 100%. But for now, I just want to have a driver. It's not going to sit outside. It's going to sit in the garage between driving. I'm going to drive it. And I'm going to drive it easy, but needs a little bit of speed in its life. Same with this side. It went up here. You can see there's a hole there, but most cars went there. I mean, the big part of these cars is the floor, or not so much the floor, but where the floor meets the rear frame rails, because those are known to rust. I do have rust on my floor pans, but most of it's up here. The other side looks much better. Also, ignore the shop back. I was already working in here, and then I thought, hey, why don't I make a YouTube channel? But as you can see, I mean, back here, the floors are solid. Like, that's surface rust, and then from the T-tops leaking. And this car, a little bit of backstory. So I have a cottage. Well, my family has a cottage. My grandparents bought it back in 1970. I can remember, as soon as I started noticing cars, I remember just looking over and being like, what is that? Like, what is that car? And I was always curious. When I was old enough, probably 10 years old, I convinced my dad to stop, and he was like, all right, if we can get that car for $1,500, we'll get it. We didn't get that would have been 9 years ago, roughly. That itch was still there. I still wanted the car. I still would see it every time. Summer 2020, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the car. I'm going to save up all my money. I'm going to buy this car. So I had $4,000 saved up, and I could get a loan from my parents for $1,000. So I was gonna try and offer him $5K for it. Obviously, he didn't quite like the offer. But then a year goes by, and I'm like, wow, like I still, like, every time I'm driving past this car, I was like, I need the car. Anytime I looked at Marketplace, thought of a second-gen Camaro. Not just any second-gen, a 79. And not any 79. Had to be a 4-speed. T-top's nice. I always thought of this car. No matter what. I couldn't get it out of my mind. My dad even tried to say, oh, let's find you a car in the States. Like in the States. And I'm like, cool thing about this car, it is all numbers matching. Everything in the car. Block. I don't think the engine's ever been rebuilt. And it only has 85K on it. Now the price, that was a little rough. I definitely paid more than the car was worth, but at the same time, the cars aren't going down in value. And it's not rusted anymore because it's sitting in a garage. Plus the rust that is here, or the rust that isn't there because there's holes. Hold on.
2 hours later.
The rust that is here, I don't feel overwhelmed by it. I know I can figure out how to patch it. You can learn a lot by watching videos, and there's a guy working on $1,000 charger, 2 channels, Cam Racing. He does some good work. I mean, he's putting in new floor pans, new trunk pan. He's going to be doing quarter. That's the level that I want to get to eventually. Now, this car is going to be what gets me there. And I'll show you a little bit of the car. Now, this car is very solid. Like, I mean, other than the rust I showed, the quarters are perfect. Like, I mean, like, look brand new basically. And you don't see that much on these cars because they usually go right down here. But I mean, this is all original metal. This is original paint. And for sitting outside for 25 years, I can't get over the paint. Like this stuff's metal, and this is like primer or whatever, or maybe exposed metal now. It does still have the decals. Obviously, they're wearing off. The bottoms of the fenders are even solid, and that's the first thing to go on the fenders. The inner fender lip is all solid, which the car just amazes me, really. I'll pop the hood for you guys. Show you what I mean. So, here you can see the car doesn't look like it was messed with. I mean, it still has the original intake, obviously. Sitting for so long didn't do it so good. Still has the fan shroud guard for the hose. Big thing, it still has the original plug wires, the original manifolds, the original distributor, and the original carb. Now, I like that this car is all original. I want to keep it all original, and I want to try and keep kind of just everything the way that the factory made it. Like that's the cut. Like, it still has the shine under all the dirt, and that's what's crazy to me. Like, this car would have been parked when it was in like immaculate shape. It's definitely a little sad to see it, but at the same time, even if this car was parked in a garage and stuff, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. It's solid. I think I showed you the floor already, but pinholes in the back, a little pinhole there, but it probably won't replace that. Well, I'll patch it, but like, I think I'll probably just cut that out, and I can always come back in here and replace the whole pan. But for some things like this, I probably won't replace. I'll replace back here, like with a new piece, like with a floor, with an actual like pressed piece. Toe boards up here are all solid. Toe board over there is not solid. That's just because the cowl has a little leak. But I mean, this car won't be seeing the rain. It might, but it'll be in a garage or being driven. But yeah, so this is it. This is a project. I've already started stripping the roof out of everything because I wanted to make sure. I wanted to take a look at this and the other side that I already showed you. I want to get all the silicone out of the roof. It went through someone's mind to do that, but I guess they were just trying to keep it going. So, as you can see, interior is stripped. Now, my girlfriend helped me organize it. We wrote down, like, we put all the screws in the bags and what they were. And then we made a box of interior parts. You don't realize how many parts are in the interior until you start pulling it apart. I have a dilemma because I don't know how to store this headliner, but I do need a new headliner. But at the same time, I'm like, do I try and save it, or I don't know. I'm just kind of, I don't know what to do, because I could probably use this again, but at the same time, it doesn't look great. It's like, I don't really know if I want to use it because I want to have a nice headliner, because a nice headliner just makes the car look better. And one that's sagging or dust falling everywhere is, I don't know, it might just make it junky. Now, my rear seat is actually in really good shape. You can see here. It looks pretty good. It's a little faded on the top, but that's just from 25 years of sun. That's what it'll do to you. But, yeah. So, there's my projects. My girlfriend was, well, oh, that's the piece I was looking for. Sorry, I just got sidetracked, but this is the piece. No? Never mind, that is not the piece. I'll probably try and get my girlfriend to record. She's pretty great, so she probably will. But yeah, these are my projects. I guess I'll be posting those now, and feel free to comment if you want to see the IROC get worked on, or if you guys have any tips for me on anything, let me know. Any leads on parts, let me know. I'm interested in all that, but yeah. Anyways, thanks guys.